Alright. California was not where we were supposed to stay. We were supposed to be in Iowa. However, my mother wasn't doing well. I had intentions to come out and help her, help my family. I don't think I really ended up doing that. Couldn't find a good job. I was a CNA at the time. Couldn't get any good work. Trying to find a place to live where, I didn't want to put my family into the ghetto or the projects. I really didn't make enough money to live anywhere else. So we were trying to find a house that didn't have us all up in the hood. I didn't want to raise my children in the hood. But that's where we ended up looking for houses. Now, we looked for houses all the time. We couldn't find a place to live. In the meantime, I'm enjoying the fact that I'm with my family, with my mother, my dad, because I hadn't been with them for about 5 years. And I was struggling with drinking in California. I hooked up with this band called Free 13. This brother, T.J. O'Donnell, and was hanging out with my homie, Jason Dixon, my longtime friend, Jason Dixon. And had some good things going on. XL and DVD had gotten a small record deal. Big Baby Records. What's up, Drew? So we were going to do another record, but realistically, I probably shouldn't have done another record because I still wasn't walking full heart. God didn't have my whole heart. Just parts of me. And the parts that He didn't have were manifesting some serious junk. Well, I planned to stay in California until either my mother got better or passed. And there came a point, and it was in March of 2002, where my wife and I both agreed, and my parents agreed, we should go back to Iowa. Because nothing was going on, we were living with them. So we did that. We went back to Iowa, moved right into the Lord opened the doors, we moved right into a house, and started trying to do this ministry with the Lord again. Now I got my fire back again, and this was happening this happened periodically, really for the last 20 years of holy spurts, as David Wilkerson once called them, holy spurts. You're on the mountaintop, you're in the valley, you're on the mountaintop, you're in the valley. Well, I had another mountaintop situation, and XL and DVD was trying to do something. It was me and my brothers. We played Sunshine Festival 2002. Really, this whole time, as I look back in hindsight, I never had my wife in the position that she should have been in my heart and in my life. She wasn't on the pedestal that a man's supposed to hold his wife in honor. I didn't do it. And she was hanging on, as best as she could, and I wasn't doing what God wanted me to do. Well, XL and DVD was doing had certain things going on at that time. We were kind of doing well, seemingly, and I was doing well in my walk. But yet, in a marriage, when you have so many problems for such a long time, things build up. You had a big pressure point that has to explode. And well, in 2002, my wife ended up spending time with someone else, and after I found out, I completely could not understand. I couldn't fathom how in the world this could have happened. And I tell you what, the devil was trying his best to just kill me, destroy our marriage, destroy us. And because of my lack of faithfulness to God, and I blame myself completely for the situation now. I didn't then. There was no way it was my fault. I had nothing to do with it, But looking back, if God would have had my whole heart, things would have went different from the get-go. And You know, as Christians, God can never just have part of us. He has to have all of us. Anyway, man, for the next couple of years, the bitterness was rolling again, man, and I was just in the bar drinking, just really, you know, XL DVD shut down. And I was trying to get out, but just, I didn't know how. I really didn't know anymore. And I was so bitter, and I think that's basically was the root of it. I was just bitter. I was upset with God. I was upset that God had let my life go this way, and, you know, kind of blaming God for things that it's not God's fault. And as I said, I'm having these bouts of victory, non-victory, victory, non-victory. Well, I was going through a period of victory again in 2005, and I get a call from my buddy Dave Portillo of 12 Tribe, and he's got this label deal going. And then, you know, I was sober at that time, striving, trying to do right, and ended up getting this record deal through Fourth Man Records, Frosty, his label, and there was a whole bunch of other groups involved with it. And I ended up going out to California again. I took my family out there, record an album, and it looks like things are going to be going well. Well, the label ended up having some problems, and things start collapsing, and I never really understood what happened with that. And there was a lot of labels, a lot of Christian labels involved, 22, that ended up getting robbed by this company called PGE. Well, the whole thing, you know, that messed with me, and I mean, man, just test after test and trial after trial where I was failing. And through that, I slipped up again. Messed up, you know, it's like every time there was a good thing that God had for me, I would just listen to the devil. I'd just give in to the devil and give in to my flesh and give in to circumstances, and I'd fall. Well, this time, you know, my wife, she's getting fed up with the inconsistency of her man, you know, and just me drinking all the time, and we started having separations around at the beginning of 2006. We started splitting up, you know. I mean, sometimes it'd be just for 2 weeks, a month, you know, and then we try to get back together, and I'd tell her, hey, I'm gonna stop drinking, and we can get back together, and we can work it out, you know, and we'd try, and then I'd slip up. And, you know, this started going on all the way until 2007, where I hooked up with this band. It wasn't a Christian band, pretty awesome band as far as their talent is concerned, called Radio Moscow, and they needed a drummer to sit in for them, and I became that. Well, me and my wife were split up, and this was our first separation where I moved out and got myself another place. Any separation prior to that, I had, you know, went and stayed with somebody, or, you know, just went and stayed with a friend. This time I moved out, and then I went on tour with this band, Radio Moscow, which that didn't go over well with my wife either, because all she wanted me to do was get right, quit drinking.